winning state. It's time for Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here is your host, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
As I was walking down the street one day, a man came up to me and asked me what the time was that was on my watch. Yeah, I said, does anybody really know what
I just love this song so much I had to hear it.
It's a great song.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that I have that's nailed it. It has nothing to do with the fact that I have none of my belongings out on the desk. I don't even have any notes. They're in my backpack.
Where's
things
your
move
backpack?
fast. It's right behind me here.
Good.
Things move fast. I did get one request though. My good friend, our good friend, the station's good friend of the station, David Ortiz, loyal listener.
Oh.
I DM with him on Twitter every now and again.
DM.
He requested, he was extremely excited. I don't know about extremely excited. I'm speaking out of turn for him. But he said, wow, an extra hour of shenanigans today. I think you should devote it strictly to 90s basketball and the Defensive Player of the Year.
Ooh, interesting.
Anything additional?
I mean, Defense Player of the Year this year or back in the 90s?
I don't know.
So we have to decipher that. I mean, if we're talking about this year, Jaron?
Silence, great for radio,
Well, I mean,
Brian. Thank you.
Would we be talking about Jaron then?
I don't know.
We're going to talk about the Grizzlies. So
Do you have an opinion on the topic?
No, not really. I wasn't
Really?
around in the 90s.
Do you have an opinion on the current one? You're around now.
Current Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah.
That's Jaron's to win.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you have any other candidates?
No.
Not off the top of your head.
No,
Just
off the top
him.
of my head. Just him.
Just him.
That's what I've been told, at least.
Yeah. Well, that's how you do it. If I sound like I'm far away from the microphone,
It's because you're trying to get all your things
'cause I
together.
am.
Is this, do we know,
We'll start the show in a minute, I promise. We're
do
going to
we-
start it.
do we know if this is the live women's basketball game on
Yeah, I
ACC
just turned it
Network?
on. I just turned it on ACC Network.
So it
You know
is
who's
live.
Playing?
It's not
Who's playing,
it's
Brian?
Florida,
Tell us.
Florida State and Wake Forest, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Heck yeah.
Wake Forest won yesterday. They beat Clemson.
Okay.
I don't know if that's right, actually, but they beat somebody, and they play Florida State today. Florida State, one of the best teams in the nation.
Really? Didn't know that.
They are very good.
Yeah, Wake Forest beat Virginia.
Virginia,
Yeah.
pardon me. We'll start the show in just a minute here. I got to finish. We
Still
got to
getting things up.
upload the last hour of the morning show here. Brian, do you have anything you want to say before we start?
I mean,
I know it's 10:04 and the show's technically already started, but we haven't started yet. What you're listening is to the behind the scenes. It's like a
Jay
little
wasn't prepared.
peel behind the curtain. Yeah, I wasn't prepared. That's right. No, you're getting we're getting what they pay for today.
That's right.
Let's talk first, Bryant. So we got a lot of things to do today. I'm
We
going to
do.
set up the show. This is
That's why
what
we
you
really
see.
wasted 5 minutes. I don't know if we could waste those 5
See,
minutes.
I've learned from you. You do a great job. Every day you can listen to Bryant and Brett Norrisworthy every day on Sports Time from 3 to 6. You're getting an extra hour of Bryant today. God bless him for being here. I appreciate
Get
it.
an extra hour of you. No, you're already.
I'm
you've already
always
been
here.
here. Yeah, that's true.
Get an extra hour of Bryant today, and Bryant does a really good job. You know, he drives the show Sports Time, and one thing I've learned from Bryant is you got to set up the show. I always do a poor job. By the way, let's set it up. This is Wolo and Friends. Dave is not here today. He is in Dallas.
Yes. Is
SMU
he traveling
game.
today?
No, he traveled yesterday.
Okay.
He went to the Texas TCU game last
Oh,
night.
wow.
The
That was a great game.
Big win for TCU
Yeah.
at home in Fort Worth.
That was a fun one.
Excellent game. He's not here today. He'll be back tomorrow. Very tired because it's a late game tonight. They play at 8 o'clock. And so he'll have the late travel. Generally, they get out of town kind of late.
Yeah.
No one to blame. And so he'll be back tomorrow, albeit very tired. Hopefully the Tigers can make quick work of SMU. They can get on the plane.
Hopefully
He
an
can
easy game.
get back with a good night's sleep. So he's not here today. I'm Jay Morgan Harder. I just mentioned Brian Dacus is
Hi.
here, an extra hour of him. He's usually on Sports Time every day with Brett Norsworthy from 3 to 6, and he does a great job of setting up the show for Sports Time, and I always do a terrible job of setting up the show. I just start talking for some reason.
Like you're doing right now.
And I don't know why. So I need to set up and say what we're going to do. So I want to talk about the Grizzlies and Rockets. I want to preview the Tiger game tonight. And then I have a wheel of topics because I have like 8 topics here, Brian, and this show is only an hour.
Yeah.
We don't have time to get to all 8 topics, and I struggle with indecision. You see me every day on Sports Time with our big number of the day. I always come
You
with
got
like
like
8
8
of them, and I have to pick one, and I hate picking. So what I'm going to do today is I'm not going to pick. I'm going to let the wheel decide. But let's start breaking down the Grizz-Rockets game last night. First of all, Bryant, this is a fun question to ask because let's see if you answer it honestly. I haven't talked to you about it yet. Did you watch the Grizzlies and Rockets game last night?
Yes.
Is that an honest answer?
I watched some of it.
Should I ask one more time when we get an even more honest look? How much is some?
Watched the first quarter.
Just the first quarter. Well, that's okay. It's still, you don't have to talk
See, but
about
I
it.
record them, so I'm going to watch it later.
Oh,
today
yeah?
Before Sports Time.
Before
yeah.
Sports Time.
That's right.
Is that you CYA covering your bleep?
Huh?
Or CYA covering your behind? CYA?
CYA.
A is a curse word. CYA.
Oh, cover your
bleep.
I got you.
Cover your behind. Is
I
that
thought
what
that
you're
was
doing
off
there?
there. No,
Hey, it doesn't matter. The point
always
is
watch
they,
the game.
they played the Rockets last night, which is
sometimes don't watch
peculiar
it when the
because
game's going on.
I gave you a ban of the Rockets. I told you you're not allowed to watch the Rockets anymore.
That's right. So I couldn't watch the game last night.
No, it was a terrible game. It was awful.
Wasn't?
It was a terrible.
Did the over hit? No, it did not.
No, it didn't. It was awful, awful basketball game. A horrendous basketball game. The Rockets play an atrocious brand of basketball.
They don't play defense.
They got to get Şengün out of there. I mean, they're ruining this guy's career. He's like trying to get guys in the right position. They give him the ball at the point spot, which is the top of the key. He facilitates offense, and then guys just don't move. And he's just staring at him like, dude, you have to make a cut.
When's his contract up?
I don't know. Not soon enough. Get him out of there. They're ruining this
I mean, he's
man's
going to have to
career.
ask for a trade. I mean, he's so good. They're not
Demand
just gonna,
it.
yeah.
I'll demand it for him. Get the kid out of Houston. He's too good.
He can play.
You know they threw a double team at him all night last night.
Really?
They threw a double team at him.
I saw one clip of a
Where?
nice move he had. Your Twitter, actually.
Where they threw a double team from the baseline. So what the guy guarding the ball, we don't have to say who the guy is guarding the ball.
Let's actually not say who's
But
guarding the ball.
there's one guy guarding the ball. They throw a double. First of all, they double him all night. They throw this time the double came from the baseline side to prevent him from going baseline, which would mean the guy guarding the ball. If the double comes from the baseline side, Brian, let's use our brains
Okay.
here. Double comes from the baseline side. Where do you think that means the guy guarding the ball can't let him go?
To the baseline.
Wrong. Incorrect answer. The double is coming from the baseline
Oh.
side. So you have help from the baseline
Uh-huh.
side. So which way can he not go?
Opposite of the baseline.
The middle.
Middle.
Can't let him go middle,
Right.
right? And where does he go in the clip that I posted?
To the middle.
Right to the middle. He makes a layup. And what
gets
else
fouled.
happened?
He got fouled.
And got fouled.
And won.
And won. Doesn't matter who was guarding the ball. Just a case in point there.
Good
So-
player. I mean, that just shows how good of a player he was.
That's right.
He
He's
is.
really, no, it's true. He is a very good player. So they threw double at him all night. The Grizzlies are actually now completely zoning sometimes too, which
Wow.
they were not doing beforehand. Their entire defense is essentially zoned with the way that Jaren plays defense, rim protecting. So the entire thing is basically always like a faux zone, a fake zone.
Right.
But last night I saw them go, and I think the game before I saw it a little bit. I was like, is that a zone? It might not be. It wasn't enough possessions to tell. Last night, 100% a full-out zone they were in last night to guard the basketball because they're finding that they can't. Usually with Steven Adams, they can do that fake zone because he's guarding fives. They're having trouble matching up with fives right now. Neither Tillman or Brandon Clark can match up with Şengün. And they ended up going a fake zone last night. Interesting to see. Probably won't see that when Steven Adams gets back. But nonetheless, it was interesting to see. Those were in my notes. What else was in my notes? They threw a double at Şengün. I
Desmond
said that.
looked good.
And Desmond looked great last night. He hit 6 threes in the
threes.
game. You know who else hit 6 threes last night?
The whole Rockets team.
They hit 11.
Oh, I don't know who.
Quentin Grimes
Oh,
for
really?
the Knicks hit 6 threes last
Wow.
night. A big game. They beat the Nets. They beat the Nets handedly last night.
Yeah, because I was having the problem. I kept forgetting that Kevin Durant is no longer on the Nets, and
he
so I
plays
would,
for the- he plays
yeah,
for the
and so I
Suns.
would like be going through, and I would be like, wait a minute, this game already started because they're already tweeting about Kevin Durant, and then I'd be like, oh wait, no, he got traded last week.
And the Suns won their first game back with Kevin
They
Durant
did,
last
and
night.
he had a good game.
He had 23. He did not have as good a game as Devin Booker,
Mm-hmm.
who had almost 40. A couple 40-point games last night in the NBA, too.
Couple.
Damian Lillard had 41.
Damian's so good.
Someone had 46. I forget who. Zach LaVine also had 41. Donovan Mitchell had 44. Maybe that's what it is. Jason Tatum had 41. I thought there was a 46. Maybe the 44 is what I'm thinking of. 39 from Jalen Brunson in that Knicks game, like I mentioned. Not great defense from the Nets. They're still getting it together, though. And it looks like that's it. Josh Giddey had 22, 11, and 9.
Was it last night?
40 from Brandon Ingram as well.
Oh, wow.
I forgot Brandon Ingram. So that's all the 40 pieces last night. Not a lot to talk about with the Grizzlies game, honestly. I don't want to talk about it. It was a terrible basketball game. I want to give no love to the Rockets. They play an embarrassing brand of basketball. And now you're on to the next one. What is the next one?
Denver, right?
Yeah, March 3rd. What's today? The 2nd? So that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So they play at Denver tomorrow, then they go to L.A. and play at the Clippers and at the Lakers.
And hopefully one of those games you'll get Steven Adams back.
Yeah, if you go 2-2 on this 4-game stretch, I like that.
That's good.
And if you get Steven Adams back, that's big time.
And I think winning these last 3 have been big for this kind of stretch.
Beating the tar out of the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
Beating
the
LeBron-less Lakers.
Yeah, but still, I mean.
A win's a win. You don't apologize for wins.
Yeah, I mean, we talk. We're doing reruns now, but we talked about this on Sports Time the other day.
I talk for 6 hours a day. It's all
but I mean, we talked about this on Sports Time a couple days ago where we were talking about this is such an important 11-game, 12-game stretch. And I think Brett said that he would be happy if they won 6 games out of it. Rob Fisher was the one that was talking how hard it was going to be. And then I think Brett brought up that he'd be happy if they won 6 or 7 games in this stretch. I mean, you win these last 3, it's big. I mean, even if these were supposed to be winnable games, to be able to go out and do it is big for this team.
Certainly. I want to compartmentalize the stretch even more to those 3 road, or I'm going to say the 2 home games. I really put the 4 road games together in the stretch too.
For
and
sure.
So that's going to be a big one. And then I like the 2 Dallas games back-to-back. That'll be an interesting one because the Grizzlies have not fared well with the Dallas Mavericks with or without Steven Adams.
Now, remind me, because
I would love
my
to.
computer's being slow.
It's all right, man.
Now it might be going fast. Is the Dallas, so the Dallas, one's here, one's in Dallas.
Correct.
Are they?
Not back-to-back.
Okay, so it's like 1 day in between.
It is back-to-back, but not back-to-back.
There's 1 day in between for travel.
Is that confusing to say it is and it is both and both not back-to-back?
Correct.
How about that?
How about it?
So the Grizzlies, we have to update the standings here. This is the segment every day on every show you're going to hear what's called standings talk.
Ooh.
The Grizzlies are in 2nd in the West still. They remain 2 games ahead of the Kings. The Suns win last night, their first game with Kevin Durant. They are 6 losses behind the Grizzlies. They're 4 losses behind the Kings. I was doing poor math there. And remain 5 games back. So 6 losses back, 5 games back. But Brett made the excellent point that I never considered before, that you have to go by losses.
Yeah.
Because you can't make up losses. But
Make
you
up
can
wins.
but you can't make up losses. So there's 6
He learned that
losses
from
back.
Joe Buck.
Oh, so I guess we learned it from Joe Buck.
Yeah.
I credit Brett. He credits Joe Buck.
Maybe it wasn't Joe Buck.
Doesn't matter. And that's pretty much it. Anything else in the Grizzlies or the NBA you want to talk about, Bryant?
No.
Then let's move on to the Memphis Tigers, who play tonight against SMU. Oh, what a game this is going to be. All right, this is going to be a barn burner of the highest magnitude. I saw this
I
morning
hope it puts me to sleep. It's an 8 p.m. tip. I hope puts me to bed right when that tip off, right when the final buzzer hits. I can go to sleep.
Well, you're going to be so jazzed
because
from either a close victory or a dominant victory.
You're right.
You know what you're not going to be jazzed from?
A loss.
Because it's not going to happen. Not even in the realm of possibility. I mean, if I'm talking percentages, I'd say there's a 60% chance they win by 20 and a 40% chance it's closer than the experts think. And that leaves 0% in it for a loss.
Well, the line right now is like 7.5, I think.
Oh, it's going up. It was started at 6.5.
Okay, then it might be 6.5. I think I was looking at Greg's line last night.
No, his is 5.5.
Is it?
It is.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Wow. I thought it was a little bit more than that.
No, it's less.
So, but that's just because it's on the road.
And Moody's a tough place
Moody's
to play.
Tough place to play.
But you know who the Tigers have on their team?
Kendrick Davis.
Mr. Moody Coliseum.
Mr.
Kendrick
Moody.
Davis. That's what his nickname is. You never heard him called that before?
Uh-uh.
No, you're absolutely right. Greg has it 7.5. I don't know why I thought I saw 5.5.
Yeah, I thought it was 7.5.
So
I
Greg
thought I was
has
going
the
crazy.
Tigers to win by 7.5. No, you might be going crazy, but you were right about
True.
that. You, Bryant, no longer technically cover.
No, I do not.
But you do cover them for Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. You're on a guest with Wolo every Friday.
Tomorrow.
And you do Sports Time with Brett Norsworthy every day from 3 to 6. And you are a Tiger aficionado. So let me ask you, Bryant, how do you, what are your biggest preview points? Oh, that's a new segment.
Ooh.
Bryant's preview points for the Tigers SMU game tonight.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest one is how is Kendrick going to react to being back at the gym he
Oh,
played
so
in
an
for 3 years.
intangible.
Yeah, I mean,
It's intangible season.
I think he has said multiple times that he's looking forward to going back to it. He had it circled on his calendar. It's a big game.
I love circling games on the calendar.
I believe I would have to go back and look. I believe the first when SMU came here, I'm pretty sure Kendrick played well early. But I mean, going back to he either played really well early or he played really bad early because I vividly remember that game sticking out because it was against SMU.
It doesn't say what he did early or late, but he had 25 points in the game.
How many? Can you look to see what he had?
6 of 15. Yeah, that'll take me longer though. Okay, talking, I'll find it.
So I just think, I mean, the biggest thing here is this is a guy that spent 3 years and was the guy at SMU, and going back there, it's not going to be a sellout by any means, but I think
they said he gave away all his tickets.
He gave away all his tickets. I would think that there's going to be a good amount of students there for SMU, so I'm curious of how he's perceived, how what is the introduction like, because I just don't want Kendrick to get all tight because there's been some games where he tries to do too much, he's forcing a little bit, and I definitely don't want that to happen. But I do think this could be on the complete flip side of that. This could be a game where you just beat SMU at home by 99 to 84 the last time you played them. So this could be one where you're going in completely trying to sleepwalk this game to get to Houston on Sunday. And this could be a good game where Kendrick can lock everybody back in and say, hey, we cannot overlook these guys. This game is super important to me at least. Let's go out there and handle business and then worry about Houston.
Yeah, he had 16 points in the first half, but he was 1 of 5 in the second half. Did get 7 points at the free throw line, though, so got fouled plenty of times. But, yeah, 1 of 5 from the field in the second half in the first game against SMU.
Well, that first half, he came out hot in the first half.
Yeah, he was 5 of 10 in the first half with 16 points, excuse me. And then only shot 3 free throws. So he got to the free throw line a lot in the second half, but was 1 of 5.
It's so hard, though, to kind of sometimes look at Kendrick Davis's stat sheet because he goes to the line so much. Like, he'll end games with, 24 points and be 3 for 10 from the field.
Great at getting fouled.
One of the best in college basketball, honestly.
I would agree with that.
But that's the biggest one. I mean, what did you say yesterday about
something very astute, though, I'm
SMU?
Sure.
I think you said they're not in the top 150 in any defensive metric.
According to Ken Pomeroy statistics, they are not in the top 120 in any defensive category, and that is defensive efficiency, effective field goal percentage, turnover percentage, offensive rebound percentage, free throw rate, 3-point percentage, just 2-point percentage, block percentage, steal percentage, non-steal turnovers, not in the top 120 in any. Those might not mean a lot to you, but they are significant.
They are.
And they're basically just fancy ways of saying traditional stats. They're terrible in all of them.
And offensively, they don't do anything well either.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it.
So I think, and I do think.
So a terrible basketball team is what we're saying.
Yes, and I think this is a big game for Malcolm Dandridge because you have him inside, down low. He didn't play in the Houston game. He's kind of started slowly kind of progressing to full strength. He played 6 minutes in the first game, 12 minutes in his second game. Third game, I think he was about around 14 minutes. So I think tonight you get him down low, really get him involved so that he can be ready for that game against Houston. But I think tonight you should go down to Houston and handle business.
I am looking at their conference-only statistics.
And they're better conference-only?
Sort of. They forced the second most turnovers in the league.
Well, that could be an issue
in terms of turnover percentage, but they don't appear to capitalize on any of those turnovers. And they force a lot of steals. Now, those aren't just non-steal turnovers, which they are second in the league on, but they're third in steal percentage. So those are live ball turnovers only. So that's a lot too. They shoot the worst from the free throw line in the league, 62%. That's atrocious.
Oh, that's bad.
And they block no shots. Only 13% of shots are blocked. That's a very low percentage.
Yeah.
And that's all the stats on SMU I have.
Memphis had 13 turnovers in the first game against SMU. And Memphis is some games they'll come out and turn the ball over 20 times. Sometimes they'll come out like they did against Cincinnati and turn the ball over 8 times. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out. Did you know SMU has a former 5-star on their team?
Who?
Samuel Williamson.
Oh,
was the
Sammy Will. I know Sammy Will.
14th ranked player in the country, went to Louisville, and he has not had a good year.
And
this
he
year for
left?
SMU. He left.
Bastard.
I don't know why he left, but
He's selfish.
that's right. So he went to SMU. He thought, I can be the Kendrick Davis down there.
George Bush.
He's not. George Bush.
I could be next to the
The
president.
ponies.
Maybe he has political aspirations, wants to get into politics.
Maybe.
Lobbyist.
I mean, that'd be, good reason.
Yeah.
George Bush loves
Cozy up
his,
to George Bush.
loves his SMU ponies.
All right. Will he be at the game tonight? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. I'll say no.
How will we know? I've got an inside source. I can find out.
We'll ask Dave Woloshyn.
That's good. That's another inside source, yeah.
And then you want to pick the game?
George Bush.
W. Bush.
George
I think
W.
HW
Bush.
passed away.
Oh,
Rest
I'm
in
sorry to
peace.
hear that. I'm pretty sure George W. will, like, some games that he shows up. Maybe it was when Pastner was there. I don't remember. But he would, like, come into Memphis's locker room and, like, give a pregame speech almost before games.
Into Memphis's locker room?
I'm pretty
would
sure
he
I've
go
heard
into
that.
the opponent's
I have
locker
no
room?
idea, but I'm
Psych him out.
I'm 90%
It's the
sure
president!
that George
It's the
W.
president!
would go into the visiting locker rooms and just talk to the team. Which, I mean, it's president, I
The
guess.
opponent is on his axis of evil.
I mean,
That is a 2003 political joke that I just made.
it is
Timely.
timely.
20
Very
years too late. You want to pick the game?
sure against the spread or
ATS.
straight up.
ATS.
Okay, what's the line?
-6.5.
I'll take the Tigers.
Me too. That's not fun. We'll spin the wheel next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, Orco hard coolers, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-585-8282. 800-585-8282. That's 800-585-8282.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
The experienced technicians at Conway Services are ready to solve all of your drain problems. For a limited time, take advantage of our 83 or It's Free drain clearing special. Feel secure knowing the trusted professionals at Conway Services guarantee that if we can't clear it, you don't pay for it. Call now or visit conwayservices.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 64210, 64365 EAS, MS 19668.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch has an offer you can't refuse. They will pay you to do business with them if you want luxury. And I'm talking the Genesis G70 car. If you would love to have that kind of new technology, they will give you a $1,000 rebate when you finance with Genesis Motor Finance. In other words, they'll pay you $1,000 to do business with them, and you get brand new luxury. You can't beat it. That's Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis, right at the corner of Craft Road and Highway 78 in Olive Branch. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch, where customer retention is amazing. There's a reason. They take care of you with a team that's been together for a long time. Whether it's finance or whether it's service, you can't beat them. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Dave is in Dallas. I think we just gave the best preview here all day of that game.
Big D.
Memphis at Triple D.
I have a bet with my buddy. If SMU wins this game tonight, we might actually change it if they cover the spread, because I don't think there's any chance they win the game. I have to wear SMU gear tomorrow to work.
Do you have SMU gear?
I do. He got me a sweat. You know that the Dallas jerseys they have with the Dallas script on it for football, and
those are cool.
The D logo. Yeah, he bought me a hoodie or a sweatshirt that has the D on it.
Dallas's team.
Yeah.
So much so the Pac-12 was looking into them because they have such a stronghold on that market.
Correct.
Interesting. I don't see it that way.
I don't either. But hey, if they want to see it that way, so be it.
Well, Dave isn't here. I'm Jay Morgan Harder. Brian Takis is here as well. You can hear Brian Takis every day from 3 to 6 on Sports 56 with Brett Norsworthy on Sports Time.
Yeah, you can.
You can. All right, time to spin the wheel. Here's what's on the wheel of topics, Brian. So here's how this works. It's a very complicated segment. I have a wheel. It's a real wheel.
Yeah, it is.
It has topics on it. It's a real wheel. I cannot emphasize enough there's an actual wheel here. You're going to hear it in a second.
It's big, too.
It's a big wheel. Like the wheel, not as big as the Wheel of Fortune wheel.
No.
But
We
it's a
can't
big
fit
wheel.
that in that room.
We can't fit it.
But it is a big wheel.
It's a big wheel. It's right here. I see it.
And all the topics are
Topics are on it. And here's the topics. Byron Jones tweet. He says, I can't run and jump. Don't trust anybody. Don't trust the doctors. Don't trust the front office. He's talking about injections and pills they give you in the NFL. I have Panthers goalie Spencer Knight enters an NHL assistance program for potential substance abuse. They don't say. It's just an assistance program. It could be mental health.
anything really.
Could be both. He's the American goalie. He's like the United States goalie, not just the Panthers goalie. He's the goalie. He's only 21 years old, I think. Up and coming goalie. The United States is
the goalie.
The goalie. Russell Wilson's story in The Athletic about his happenings in Seattle and why that relationship broke down. There was an Athletic story that did inside reporting on that.
One.
I have something for Nate Oates.
Okay. You have something for Nate Oates.
That's what the topic on the
All
wheel says.
right.
It says something for Nate Oates. I have the Boston Bruins waking up and choosing violence. I have a pack of 2002 Topps MLB baseball cards. And I have Bruce Pearl's post-game rant. So that's what's on it. That's 7 topics
All right.
on the wheel here.
Let's do it.
It's a 7-topic wheel. You ready? Let's spin the wheel.
Yep. Wow.
Strong spin.
That was a good spin.
Strong spin. Here it's slowing down. Give it a minute here. What did it stop on, Bryant?
I don't know. I can't read it.
Should we spin it again?
Sure.
Now this time I want you to put your glasses on.
Yeah, I got my glasses on.
All right, so you're going to have to read it.
Now.
You're going to have to read what it says, okay?
Okay.
Slowing down. What did it land on, Bryant?
Topps baseball cards.
That's what we're doing first? That's what it landed on first? I guess we don't get to choose what the wheel landed on.
I mean, I can't choose.
It's an interesting choice by you.
Well, did you think I was going to choose something different?
Yeah, honestly, this was going to be. I was hoping this was the last thing the wheel landed on, but again,
Well,
I
we
don't
can spin it again.
I know I don't get to choose, Bryant. We
That's
don't get to
right.
choose. Luis. So we're going to go through here, and I want to go see how many cards it takes you to know one of the players.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Luis Castillo. What did that noise mean?
Luis Castillo?
Yeah.
The pitcher.
No, wrong.
Oh, wrong Luis
so
Castillo.
don't know Luis Castillo. Luis Castillo was a Marlin for a period of time. This is a 2002 card. He led the league in stolen bases in 2000 with 62.
Wow.
50 the year before. That would absolutely lead the league in stolen bases this year. 334
well,
in
maybe
2000
not this
as well.
coming up year, but
but
bigger
the rules are
bases,
different.
yeah.
But he did it with smaller bases,
That's right.
so it just meant more. Melvin Mora. You know Melvin Mora?
Nope, can't say I'm familiar
Legendary
with his work.
Oriole. Outfielder and third baseman. Legendary
The
Oriole.
the Orioles are next up.
Is that right?
Yeah. Got a lot of young
but
guys.
you don't like Adley Rutschman.
I never said I don't like Adley Rutschman.
I feel like you did last year.
I might have.
Sean Estes.
No.
He's a pitcher, by the way. Pitches for the
My
Giants.
grandfather's last name.
Alex Gonzalez. You got to know Alex Gonzalez.
No.
Marlins shortstop on
I
the
don't
same
watch the
team as
Marlins.
Luis Castillo. They won a World Series
Yeah, when I was like 4.
in 2003. These are 2002
okay,
baseball
3.
cards. But you could be a historian of baseball and like going back and see who won the World Series in your lifetime.
I mean, yeah.
But you didn't.
I just didn't.
And the last two are managers. Phil Gardner for the
Oh, I know Phil Gardner.
for the Detroit Tigers.
Yep, Tigers.
And Davey Lopez
I know Davey Lopez.
for the
Nationals.
Brewers.
Wow.
The Nationals weren't a team in 2002.
That was a short pack.
The Nationals
Not a lot of
weren't-
cards
only
in that pack.
only 8 cards. The Nationals weren't a team in 2002.
That's a good point.
So it was the
Montreal Expos.
nailed it. So you do know a little bit about 2002 baseball.
I
then.
do.
Before we move on here, I want to talk. Before we spin the wheel again, I want to talk a little bit. I'm going to take another topic off the wheel before we spin it again. It's just the way it's going to have to go here. I want to talk a little bit about this Russell Wilson story in The Athletic.
Please.
Now, Russell Wilson famously, I don't know if we knew he was disgruntled in his time in Seattle, but there was clearly some kind of rift happening. Going back to the Legion of Boom,
Yeah.
where the Legion of Boom, those guys were
They don't like him at all.
adamantly not liking him. It's cornerback, what's his name? That now
Sherman.
talks. Thank you, Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman famously was talking bad about him pretty much as soon as he left.
Yeah.
No, but even before he left the Seahawks. And there was a safety that left before him that was talking bad about him as well.
Yeah.
They did not like Russell Wilson. We weren't sure why. If it was he was maybe too high and mighty, they didn't like he was too in cahoots with management. We just didn't really know the reason. All we knew is he didn't like him. Then fast forward to this year when he leaves Seattle and goes to Denver.
Everything is coming out now.
Everything. Well, yeah, but the first game of the year against the Seahawks, there was that kind of when the handshake with Pete Carroll was like they didn't
very
say
weird.
didn't
yeah.
say a word to each other. They just shook hands and walked off, and that could have just been cordially just played a
One
full
like
football game.
all of that Legion of Boom group like went to that game to like cheer against Russell Wilson.
Was that a Thursday or a Monday game?
Monday. It was the ESPN game.
It was. I think you're right. But
It
for
was
some reason,
definitely
I
a Monday.
remember Richard Sherman talking about it. I thought it was a Thursday night game because of that, but I think you're
No,
right. It
I'm
was a
pretty
Monday
sure it was a
game.
Monday game.
Maybe that was another game he got to talk
Yeah.
bad about Russell Wilson in that span.
I think
But
so.
the point is, the most interesting thing that stuck out, so they wrote an expose, if you will, about his time in Seattle and also his time in Denver, because there's a lot of similarities there. So he goes to Denver, and so I want to make clear, he did not have an office in Seattle.
Right.
But he goes to Denver, and one of his stipulations with signing there is
I got to have an office.
he needed to have an office in the team facility, a rare perk that almost doesn't exist. No, doesn't. I'm confidently say doesn't exist. He's the only one to have it. Several Broncos veterans on the team said he didn't mind having an office. However, it's very weird. He has a whiteboard in his office on all the sides of the wall. Each wall also has motivational quotes up and down. It's a very office that would suit Russell Wilson, and he would say this is the most interesting thing. It was strictly football, Melvin Gordon said, to go in his office. Anybody could go in his office, and he was like, hey, if you want to learn extra plays, we can go over this. You want to do that, we can do that. He had office hours in the team. And so like a professor in college had office hours and had, quote, an open door policy. Very weird language to have an open door policy, because if you have a locker in a locker room, your door's always open.
Yeah.
You're in the locker room with all the players.
Yeah.
But it seems like it was very important to Russell Wilson to be separate himself from. I thought it was the weirdest
So
thing
would he
I've ever seen.
So I mean, do you think he would go in to the locker room, change real quickly, and then just go up to his office? And if somebody needed to talk to him, they got to go up to his office instead of just, hey buddy, and walk up to his locker room. Hey man.
They speak about that, obviously. It creates an unusual team dynamic. One coach said the players were always on the first floor. They never came up to the second floor. And if you did come to the second floor as a player, it honestly is never a good thing, because it probably means you're being released. So now you've got a player that has an office on the same floor as management and the general manager.
Crazy.
It's just a ridiculous team dynamic.
He also had a reserved parking spot, didn't he? I think that was another ask he had.
I think a lot of people have parking spaces,
that's
though.
true.
So here's the quote about the open door policy. One offensive player said Wilson told teammates he had a, quote, open door policy with his office, which to another coach seemed problematic. So are you a coach or a player, he asked. Your open door should be you sitting at your locker with the rest of the players. I agree. It's crazy.
Sounds like a professor.
Absolutely. Open door policy has office hours, apparently. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. It's unbelievable, and it honestly probably caused a rift in dynamics with Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah.
And it's why the reason when Sean Payton took the job, they literally asked him, because this story was coming out as that was happening, and they asked Sean Payton when it happened. He said, "So you got a player with an office?" And the thing goes, "No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen with my."
But
and we asked somebody about that.
Probably Bo.
Was it Bo?
He's the NFL guy we talked to.
And maybe it was Bo. We'll say it was Bo. It was on Sports Time. We talked to somebody about that, and we asked specifically, do you think he's already caused a problem with Russell Wilson? He goes, no. Sean Payton came in there, was told about this, made sure all parties involved knew this wasn't happening before he took the job, so he probably felt very comfortable to say this isn't happening at his press conference.
Well, it's so interesting, though, because that's who supposedly is being reported that Russell Wilson wanted. I don't know if you've seen these stories.
Well, he's probably willing to sacrifice that stuff for Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Not so for Nate Hackett.
Because Russell Wilson, I don't know if you remember
who
last
calls
week.
touchdown Tuggaliciouses, by the way. Go ahead.
But last week, all those stories came out and stuff that Russell Wilson was trying to get Pete Carroll fired.
That's part of this.
In Seattle.
That's part of this
and
athletic
that he
story.
wanted Sean Payton to be the guy hired in Seattle.
That's exactly right. That's the next thing I was going to get to. So the first part of this story focuses on his time in Seattle and reporting, which goes back to what I was saying about the weird handshake with Pete Carroll.
Oh, and Pete Carroll, I mean, he would say some sly stuff often and pointed to, not saying directly.
Terrell Lockett in post-game press conferences this year said stuff about that. It's unbelievable what happens when we have everybody that cares about the team first mentality.
I forgot about that.
So he wanted to fire Pete Carroll in Seattle. And that's what this report alleges, because I'm going to go on and say something additionally. He wanted to get Pete Carroll fired in Seattle and hire Sean Payton, like you said. A lawyer for Wilson wrote a letter to The Athletic after this story came out, asserting that Wilson's called for Carroll and Schneider, the GM's firing, is entirely fabricated. The Seahawks declined to comment for the story, and Nathaniel Hackett and Broncos GM George Patton declined to comment for the story, comment through their representatives and on the story. But after publication of the story, Russell Wilson responds on Twitter, "I love Pete. He was a father figure to me, and John believed in me and drafted in me. I never wanted them fired. All any of us wanted was to win. I'll always have respect for them and love for Seattle."
Wow.
I'm going to call bullcrap.
Me too.
I just thought the most interesting thing about that story is the open door policy. That's really the whole reason I brought it up, is because he had an office and had an open door policy with office hours.
That's hilarious.
What a weird thing for a player to have.
That's so weird.
All right, so now we have that off the board. We have the cards off the board. Hopefully you pick better this time. Let's spin the wheel. What did the wheel land on, Brian?
I can't read that. Does that say Bruce Pearl?
Says Bruce
All
Pearl
right.
post game. So how do you want to do this? I haven't seen this video. I haven't heard this.
So
do you
let
want
me
to
set it up? Quick.
Okay, and then I'll play it.
All right. So if you didn't see last night, Alabama and Auburn played
overtime.
Had to go to overtime.
Players got ejected.
Players got ejected for Alabama.
Just Alabama, right?
It was 2 players for Alabama.
What can you tell me what the scuffle was, or that's what you're getting?
I don't remember what it was.
I just saw it on Sports Center.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I was watching the game last night, and I wasn't watching at that point.
So a player went up for a layup. He was fouled.
Yeah.
And then as he was getting up, like players are walking to the free throw line, some kinds of hands were exchanged.
Right.
Someone shoved somebody else.
Yeah.
And chaos ensued.
And then they were ejected. But
2 players, 3 players?
It's 2 players.
2 players.
But close game down the stretch, officiating a little questionable at the end. According to probably if you're an Auburn fan, you thought it was more questionable than if you were an Alabama fan.
What about an objective viewer? Probably didn't care.
It wasn't like terrible. There were some maybes, but Bruce Pearl was not happy that his team lost because he thought this was going to be a great opportunity to take this team to overtime. If you win this game, it's a huge boost to get into the NCAA tournament. Exactly. Now they have to go and play Tennessee in their last game. Very, very tough. So he, I guess, post game after the game, does his radio broadcast.
And he gets very upset.
And he gets very, very upset.
All right, should we play it?
Play it.
Let's hear it.
Obviously they made some plays. We had a hard time staying in front of them. At the end of the day, I'm just sick and tired of our guys getting smashed down there. Smashed.
Keeps going. Wait.
Talk about the final possession in regulation, Coach. You had the ball with about 25 seconds to go.
Yep, we got a middle ball screen. Wendell got a good look. Their guys, had a clean one. That would have been a great way to end it.
What defensively were you able to do tonight in over a good portion of the game against this Alabama offense?
Played hard. Played
How
physically.
long is this? The whole thing?
Yeah, I'm going to listen to the whole thing.
Okay.
Message.
Did the best job we could to keep them off the offensive boards.
Don't ask.
What is that?
I don't know. It's on the video.
Okay.
Message to your ball club after this one, Bruce.
Just we played hard, played well. If that's the number 1 team in the country, come on the road, a hostile environment. But we needed that one to get the NCAA, and we didn't get it. Dylan Cardwell's hurt. He's probably not going to play against Tennessee because of his injury. We need his physicality. He got fouled down there at the at the end of the game. So,
Coach, just talk about what Saturday represents now.
we'll get ready to play Tennessee. We were incredibly outmanned at the end. Had 4 guys on the bench in foul trouble. Joke!
Auburn head coach Bruce
That
Pearl
was worth going to the end. Smashed! Smashed! It's a joke!
And so what I'm guessing, because most, like, when we do Ole Miss games on this station, they'll do, and Tigers games too, they'll go to the post-game show. They'll let the coach go into the locker room. Coach usually probably does his press conference first, and then he goes to the radio. And I guess for Auburn, they do it immediately after the game. So all we do is win is playing in the background. The Alabama fans are still there cheering, and he just loses his mind.
Of our guys getting smashed down there. Smash!
It's great stuff, man.
Hilarious.
That's awesome. Bruce Pearl is a fiery guy. We played him at Texas Tech once, and Coach Smith got upset. He did not shake the coach's hand after the game because there was a questionable call at the end. Instead, he sprinted after the referees into the tunnel, and we never saw him again.
That's hilarious.
But he's a really nice guy. The night before, I got to talk to him the night before. I loved him. I took a picture with him. He's a super nice guy.
That's good to
But
hear.
he sprinted after the
he gets fiery when it's in between those 4 lines. It's not football. So
40 minutes of hell.
40 minutes of hell. That's right. He's a different animal.
All right, we're going to come back, spin the wheel one more time. Back after this.
Of our guys getting smashed down there. Smashed!
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey friends, it's Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers. And unless your lady has a birthday coming up or you have an anniversary on the horizon, you might not need to come see us at Russell Brothers. But if she hasn't had her rings checked and cleaned in a while, you do need to come to Russell Brothers. We're always happy to check for bad or missing prongs on her diamonds and other gemstones, and it's always our pleasure to clean her jewelry and make those beautiful gems sparkle like they did the day she first wore them. And none of that costs a penny. And if her jewelry or watch does need repair, we have 3 jewelers with more than 85 years of experience to do the job perfectly the first time. And if you have a birthday or anniversary ahead, come see our truly magnificent jewelry. The jewelry that has been making Memphis Belles happy for 5 decades. Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, where beauty, quality, value, and service are what we're all about. Come see us at 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? And if you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at LawnSolutionsInc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry: Honda mowers, trimmers, and generators, Steel blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws, Echo trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws, plus quality products from Red Mat and Shindawa. And they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch has an offer you can't refuse. They will pay you to do business with them if you want luxury. And I'm talking the Genesis G70 car. If you would love to have that kind of new technology, they will give you a $1,000 rebate when you finance with Genesis Motor Finance. In other words, they'll pay you $1,000 to do business with them, and you get brand new luxury. You can't beat it. That's Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis, right at the corner of Craft Road and Highway 78 in Olive Branch. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch, where customer retention is amazing. There's a reason. They take care of you with a team that's been together for a long time. Whether it's finance or whether it's service, you can't beat them. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place: the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
I love that.
It's fantastic.
Great stuff, man. Smash down there. Smash.
Joke of our guys getting smashed down there. Smashed.
It's a joke.
Joke.
Great. Awesome stuff. I'm going to play that all day. On every show.
We could just play it
Luckily,
over and over
is you know who's producing the rest of the day on Sports 56?
You are.
And guess who's going to have those sounds pulled up for the rest of the day?
You are.
It will be me. Oh, my God. That's so funny. I love that. Very rare you get something like that. All right, we only have like 2 minutes left here. Let's spin the wheel one more time.
Here we go.
We have time for one more topic. I'm going to choose this one.
Yeah, you can read it this time. I've read like the first 3. You can read this one. Wow, that seems like a quicker spin. You got to get it in and out.
I think it's the same amount.
Oh, maybe.
It is.
Consistent.
It is. Ooh, it landed on something for Nate Oates.
Wow, perfect. We were just talking about Bruce Pearl. So this is, wow, it's perfect.
Great timing. I've got something for Nate Oates. You betcha I do. Oh, I got something for Nate Oates. This guy, everyone thinks this guy's a good basketball coach. Give me a break, man. All you do is recruit good players and tell everybody to get out of the way. Granted,
college basketball.
He does create space for isolations, but literally every basketball play they make, except for an after timeout where it's like a single high ball screen, is isolate, get to the basket. That's their entire offense. So like everyone acts like this guy's such a good basketball coach. He's doing a great job. Anybody would want Nate Oates. Bull crap. Nobody would. You know what? Isolating your players to create space so that they can just go play basketball is
pickup.
A little bit better than what Penny Hardaway does. It's a little bit better than what Coach Hardaway does, honestly.
Wow.
A little bit better. A little bit. Because there was no space for players last year to isolate to go to the basket. At least NATO's recognized, let's go 5 around none and isolate going to the basket. But it's not a high brand of basketball at all. That's going to get them in trouble in the tournament. Teams like that don't win in the tournament. You know what teams win in the tournament, Bryant?
What?
High IQ, fundamental basketball teams. That's who wins in the tournament. All right, well, now I've desecrated over the University of Memphis. That's all the time we have for today. Listen to Bryant on Sports Time, Sports 56,
and you.
3 to 6. I'll be there too. And listen to John coming up next. Have a good day, everybody.
Of our guys getting smashed down there. Smashed!
Looking for a bar with it all? Pimento's Burgers Bar and Grill. Pimento's makes football your fantasy